Okay, so point slope form and the slope formula, you have them both hopefully on your cheat sheet. This one I give you on the final itself. So that will be on your final regardless of if you remember to write it down or take your thing with you. What is your first step in putting something into point slope form? Find the slope. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to label x1, y1 and x2, y2. You're going to take that and you're going to plug it in right here. So it's going to be 6 minus 4, y2 minus y1, over x2, negative 2, minus x1. Okay? 6 minus 4 over negative 2 minus 8 is 2 over negative 10. What is 2 over negative 10? Negative 1/5. You're all with me right now, right? Not playing games? With me? So you have your slope. How do I put something into point slope form? Pick one of your points, and you may pick either one. They both work. They're both going to get you a right answer. I typically just stick with either what is the x1, y1 already, or whichever one doesn't have negatives is sometimes an easier way to go. So now we're just plugging into this equation. Y minus your y1 value, that's the 4, equals negative 1/5, your slope, times x minus your x value, which is the 8. That is your answer. It's not terrible, right? It just has a couple steps to it. Don't let it freak you out. You can do it. Find the slope, put it into point slope, you're done. Other questions? Okay.
Can you do number 30?
Okay, number 30, it says the measure of angle ABC. So here's A to B to C. So that's the whole angle, right, is 100. We know the two parts of the angle. So what you're going to do is you're going to add those two together, x plus 3 plus 2x plus 4, and set it equal to the total. So set that equal to 100. So x plus 2x is 3x. 3 plus 4 is 7 equals 100. You're going to take away the 7. So 3x equals 93. And then you're going to divide by 3. So x is 31. The question is, solve for x, but then what is the measure of angle ABD? And ABD is right here. Okay, so to find that, you take the 31 and you drop it in. 31 plus 3 is 34 degrees. Okay. Another thing that gets done wrong a lot on these finals is people forget to finish a problem. So like if I said here, solve for the measure of angle ABD, and you got to here and 31 was an option on the multiple choice, it's like, oh, there's 31. Yeah, sure. That's not the question I asked, right? Read the question every single time. What am I looking for? If I'm not asking for X, what am I asking for? Find the angle, plug it in, okay? So take your time, read each question slowly, make sure you're answering my question, not just finding some piece to the problem. Find the end result of the problem, okay? And I think I maybe said this to you before, but I'm gonna say it again. Don't spend any time on problems you don't know how to do. If you don't know how to do it, skip it and move on to what you do know how to do. That's gonna help build your confidence and maybe help trigger how to do one of those problems you didn't know how to do, because it's like, oh yeah, I just did this one and that's kind of like that one. Oh, I gotta do this with it, right? So don't spend 10 minutes on a problem ever. That is a huge, huge waste of your time. Spend a minute looking it over. If you don't know it, skip it and move on. Go to the next one. Do I know how to do this? Yes, great, solve it. No, move on, okay? Go back to the ones you don't know how to do later, but then just make sure that you're putting answers in the right spot on the Scantron as you go if you're gonna skip stuff, okay? Yeah. Yes. 31, what is the pattern? So you're basically saying, what am I doing to a negative 6 to get to 12? What am I doing to 12 to get a negative 24? What am I doing to a negative 24 to get 48? What are you doing each time? Multiplying by negative 2, right? So you're going times negative 2 is your pattern. So 48 times negative 2 is 96, negative 96, sorry. So that's the next term. And then negative 96 times 2, negative 2, sorry, is a positive, what is that, 192? Okay, so here's the pattern, multiply by negative 2, and then your next two terms. Other questions? Is that a hand up, Stephen? No. Yeah, Kate.
Can you scroll down to the bottom?
Oh, the other way.
Yeah, 33.
Okay, constructions. Let's just do those up here. What? Why'd you go, aw? That I just did right here? Oh, it didn't take me long. It's quick. Okay. Let's say you have this set up and you are gonna find, I'll just do both. I'll do angle bisectors and perpendicular bisectors, okay? So if you're gonna do here, let's do this first. If I want the perpendicular bisector of that, this is cat eye. You're gonna go more than halfway, okay? This is my compass, by the way. This is my pencil. This is my pointy part, okay? Cat eye just does a big arc here, and then keep that same setting, and a big arc here, right? So your answer is this line using a straight edge. I totally missed, but that's the idea, right? That's a perpendicular bisector. Next one. Let's say you have an angle. Okay, and I want an angle bisector. This is the one where you're gonna take your point and put it on the vertex, and then your pencil, is gonna give you that arc, and now you have 2 points of intersection, here and here. So pick a compass setting, it can stay the same, and you'll do a mark there, and a mark there, and now that point connects to your angle. And then the only other thing you'll have to do is either that on here 3 times, or this on here 3 times. Do you want to see both of those? One of those? Either of those? Both of those. Okay, so if you're doing the angle bisectors like we just did, you're gonna do, it's such a janky compass, I'm sorry. So you're gonna do an arc here, and then from those 2 points, make your arc there. Use a straight edge, mine's not gonna turn out great because I'm not. Then on the second one, same thing. So you'll come here, an arc there, and then from there, your intersection up here, and connect those. And then the last one, technically you don't have to draw the last one with the markings. You can see where they're gonna meet, right? This is where they meet up already for the first 2. So you can, if you want, just connect those. And that'll be your third one, okay? If you're doing perpendicular bisector, that's the cat eye. So that's the one, make sure you go more than halfway on the longest side. We'll just do the full length here. And then you'll do a big arc there, a big arc there, and a big arc here. It's not my best work, you guys. And then you'll connect this point to this point to this point, and this point to this point. Oh, guys, it worked perfect. Not sure how, because that sure didn't stay the same. And that will be your circumcenter. Okay, so cat eye, An angle bisector is all you got to be able to construct. Julia, did you have a question? I thought I saw your hand up.
That one that you erased, was that the medians?
No, that was the angle bisectors, the in-center from the angle bisectors. Any other questions from the review, from the test? 25. Okay, intersection. I've been noticing a lot of confusion from people between the word intersection and the word bisect, okay? A bisector cuts something into two equal parts. It cuts it in half. An intersection is just where do they meet, okay? Bisector is how do they meet. They meet to cut something in half. So if we're naming the intersection of AX and CM, here's AX, here's CM, where do they meet up? Point N. This point right here is point N. So point N is their intersection. Okay. Then you look at CM with plane V. Now notice CM is a solid line. What does a solid line mean versus a dotted line?
It rests on the plane.
A solid line is on the plane itself. A dotted line goes through, okay? So CM is on the plane, and here's my plane. Where does my Apple Pencil and my plane connect? The Apple Pencil, right? So same thing here. CM is the overlap of those two things. Whereas RN, that one's going through, right? This is solid and then it's dotted. So that means it's cutting through the plane. So where does my Apple Pencil meet my arm here? The only place they touch, this would keep going through, the only place they touch is the tip of my pencil where it's touching my plane, right? Well, in this case, that's this point, point N, right there. Anything else? Why do we have so much time with you guys? Yeah, maybe. My third period is not a quiet class. Do you want the answers to the test up? Okay.
To the final, correct?
Oh, the final? Sure, yeah, let me put those up. It's a good idea.